Mackenzie was 2 when he first got poorly. Kenzie, do you run? And then as soon as he got in hospital, within 2 hours he couldn't stand or sit up or move or anything. First few weeks were a bit of a whirlwind. Sort of feel numb, didn't leave his side. Just watching him laying there, just doing nothing was really hard to take.
Mackenzie went from being a healthy, happy 2-year-old to being diagnosed with a rare virus that quickly attacked his nervous system, leaving him paralysed and unable to breathe or move for himself.
It was hard after he's been running around like a normal 2-year-old to I can't move and why am I here? He just used to look at you as if to say, help me, or if it wasn't help me, you almost felt like he was looking at you as if to say, this is your fault.
Claire also found herself relying on the expertise of doctors after her twins, Sam and Leo, were born at only 25 weeks. Although they survived, they faced a difficult battle ahead.
We were told that Leo had a massive stage 4 brain hemorrhage and he was very unwell, and they were having meetings about what the next steps were. And in fact, if he continued to bleed further, they would look to suggest or withdraw life support.
Sam was doing much better, but then got a further set of complications, which meant he was also rushed into life-saving surgery.
They didn't think he'd survive the transfer in the ambulance, and they didn't think he'd survive surgery. But he did.
Seeing Mackenzie that upset, it broke my heart. You can't put into words, you sort of almost feel like you failed him a bit, so yeah, sorry.
Both families had to learn to adjust quickly to living a life around very sick children who were in hospital far from home for months at a time.
Well, life changed overnight, and brutally changed overnight. We live in the Scottish borders, and Sick Kids is up in Edinburgh. I'd given up work, income had halved, and it's only when you live in it that all these little things start to add up, like the fuel and the food and the childcare. And at the time, you're trying to, in your head, balance out, but we've got 2 children that likely won't live, might not live. That's the important thing.
Amy and her family live in Leven in Fife and also faced a long commute to be with Mackenzie at hospital in Edinburgh.
Mackenzie being in hospital in Edinburgh was really difficult because I had 2 kids in 2 different counties. I stayed with him for the first 6 weeks without going home just because I purely didn't know whether he was going to be okay. I was staying with him during the week and going home at weekends. Some weekends I'd take Paige up to see Mackenzie, so there's a lot of driving, having to make sure she was safe, pay my bills at home, pay my dad to feed her because he couldn't work because he was looking after Paige.
Mums Claire and Amy found out about Kindred, a charity who help to support parents of ill children with benefits advice, funding for costly medical equipment, and who provide a listening ear.
They just said, well, have you sorted out finances? Have you, what are you doing? I started, I remember listing everything. I'm going to cry. I remember listing everything and going, oh, it's horrendous. They went in and spoke to the charge nurses and just said, look, this family, they're not here for a short period. They're here for a long time. It was hard. And Kindred stepped in and made it better.
It makes you quite angry that with a disabled child your equipment costs so much more when it's something they didn't ask for. With a car seat that costs £2,500, it's not the sort of money you have, especially when you can't work because you're looking after your child.
Kindred continue to support Amy, Claire and hundreds of families across Scotland just like them, helping them look towards the future.
I think if we didn't have Kindred, Mackenzie wouldn't have half the things that he has to help ease his daily life.
Woof, woof. Well done, boys. Are you going to turn that page?
They were excellent. And I've said this before, but they're quietly away with scaffolding at the back of us, shoring us up.
Woof, woof. Clever boys. Going to turn that page?
They kept me sane, did Kindred. They really genuinely kept me sane.